Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. We're going to be introducing our friends at Kliken, one of the newest apps in our Duda App Store. Really excited today to kind of come and present to you guys and give you guys kind of an overview of the Kliken product. So, hey Drakus, good to see you. Glad you're able to join here. Ricardo, let's go ahead and jump in and introduce ourselves here on the call.
Okay.
So for everyone else here on the call, my name is Russ Jeffrey. I'm the Director of Strategic Integrations here at Duda. I'm responsible for all of our integration kind of partnerships and the App Store in general. Really excited to be joined by Ricardo from Kliken. Ricardo, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, Russ, thank you. I'm Ricardo Laza. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kliken. We been working with Duda on this integration, and we're super excited to bring it to market to all of you, and happy to answer any questions that you guys might have as we go through the webinar. So, thank you, Russ.
Great. Let's go ahead and jump into our agenda for today. So what we're going to be covering is one is kind of how to grow your business, using Google and paid advertising, how to easily set up and run a campaign through Kliken, and then also how to see and view the reporting and kind of follow through on that. We will also kind of cover some pricing strategies for agencies as well. I should say Ricardo's going to cover it because he's going to be the one giving the presentation. But then also at the end, we will have time for questions and answers. So if you have a question along the way, throw it in the questions box, and we'll try and either answer it if we can at the moment, or we'll have time at the end to answer any questions that'll follow through there. So please feel free to ask those. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We are recording this webinar, and we will send this out to everyone who is registered. So you will get a replay if you want to forward it on to friends or colleagues or anything along those lines. And so with that being said, Ricardo, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you take it away on the presentation.
Thank you, Russ. So let's start with who we are. So Kliken, we started in 2012. We've been working very closely with Google to provide a Google Ads platform for small business owners to advertise on Google and grow their business on Google. We cover lots of different Google properties. So as you guys probably are well aware, it's not Google anymore, but it's Google Search and Google Shopping, and then free listings and so forth. So we cover all sides of Google. And we power that for tens of thousands of customers. We provide also the platform for both service providers and store owners, which is kind of unique from our portfolio of products, and also for agencies. So really easily, allows you to run campaigns on Google Search, retargeting, or Google Shopping. We are located in Tampa, Florida, and we have over 15,000 paying customers. So, why use us, or what are the common use cases for the platform? So if you're a web design agency, this provides you a platform to easily build and launch Google Ads campaigns and help your customers grow. As we all know, getting the website up and running is the first step, and then the next step, everybody asks is how do we grow our traffic? How do we grow our sales? We all know SEO takes time, to get to work, and many times the results are actually very difficult to accurately estimate. However, with paid search, you get results immediately, and you can start driving to the relevant traffic to the website from the get-go. So we built an AI-driven platform. We completely guide customers through the onboarding process. It's super easy to use. Our customers complete campaigns on over like 70%, or close to 70% range. So almost everybody coming to the platform is able to complete a campaign successfully. And these campaigns are actually using our own proprietary technology. This is not coming from Google, and it is incredibly relevant to each case. For service providers and stores, we have mapped every Google My Business category to provide a super easy onboarding process, but that also is very relevant. The campaigns are fully transparently measured, so you can see how many clicks you bring to the website, but more importantly also how many leads, how many sales, what's the return on advertising spend. We work very closely with Duda to integrate it seamlessly. So what that means is that there's no need for you to do any type of difficult integration or anything like that. It's just using the app. Everything is fully integrated and works seamlessly from the get-go. To both provide like all the different data points that we need to optimize, but also provide all the attribution and all the transparency for reporting. And then I would say, as far as like helping your customers grow, our platform, we've been working with Google for close to a decade or more in making sure that our platform works well. And actually, it delivers really great results in comparison to going on Google alone or actually having a customer do this on their own. So we see much higher click-through rates, much higher conversion rates. Our average customer sees between 6 to 9 times return on advertising spend. So if they spend $1, they see between $6 and $9 of sales coming from the platform. And it's all fully automated. So the other thing that it's really important is that the onboarding is AI assisted, so it makes it super easy to onboard. But because it's an AI engine, it actually also does all the bidding for you, does the revenue optimization. So it really is super easy to use, but super powerful at the same time. And then finally, we do provide a mobile app to show all the results and allow end users to actually help with the management of the campaign by a simple, thumbs up, thumb down UI. They can see all the reports directly on the mobile phone. So it's like also like a really easy ongoing value demonstration to the end customer by providing them all the reports and all the, all the management capabilities on the mobile app. So if you're a web design agency, this is a really easy way for you to help your customers grow, and attached to that, obviously, help you grow your own, relationship with your customers, long-term value, and also like, reduce your churn. Okay. So now, what's in it for the end customer, like the small business owner, whether they build it themselves or you as an agency are building it for them? Again, like reiteration of the AI-driven onboarding process, it is super easy to build high-quality ads, so both for them and for you. And then, pick the right keywords to drive maximum value for the website. So average customer builds the campaign actually in 10 minutes or less, and it's like a really relevant, campaign to their business. The transparent performance piece is something that's critical to small business owners. They all want to know, how much is this costing me? How much is this going to cost me? What are the conversions looking like? What keywords are generating what revenue and things like that, and being able to action on it. And our platform allows them to do all that. And then finally, we really priced it from the get-go for SMBs, for small business owners. So the budgets are really flexible. They start as low as $150 per month, and you can upgrade and downgrade, cancel at any time. So customers don't feel like they are having to get into thousands of dollar contracts per month with a year time frame. This is month by month. They can easily, change from $150 to all the way to $10,000 per month. Stop them and start them anytime. And also, we provide 100% money back guarantee if we cannot get the campaign on Google or the store on Google. We give you 100% of your money back, no questions asked. Okay, so main thought process: growing your business and your customer's business on Google is easy and effective with Kliken. It's really easy to do, but it actually is very effective, and that's why we have so many happy customers across the board. So why Google? You could ask yourself. I know that sounds kind of like a silly question to ask. We all know, the importance of Google in our lives, but from a business perspective, it's always great to reiterate it, right? So one, it's It's not advertising for advertising's sake. It's advertising to grow your business. It probably is one of the most effective ways to find new customers and convert them. Anybody searching on Google has intent, right? Like either you're at the really top of the funnel, like you're at the top of researching, trying to find a new pool or trying to find a new instructor of some sorts, or all the way down where you're ready to just hire one and you say, hey, find me a pool contractor in my zip code, or find me a music instructor in my zip code, at which point you're ready to pull the trigger. So show your customers what you offer when they're ready to buy. The other thing that's also really useful is that it is very results driven. This is not like the old school marketing joke that everybody said, we know 50% of our marketing is working, not just what 50%. In this case, it's kind of the opposite, right? You can clearly tell how many leads you generated, how many calls you generated, how many sales you generated, and then where are they coming from? What ads are driving those sales? What keywords are driving the sales, and so forth. So the budgets, as mentioned before, are very flexible for a small business owner. They start as low as $150 a month and go all the way to $10,000, and we have customers in all sides of the spectrum. And you can start picking the budget that's right for you. Many of our customers start on a small budget just to try it out and see how it works for them. And as they grow the business, we have seen some customers go from $150 a month to literally $10,000 a month. So it depends obviously on how effective the marketing is for you, and also how much you want to grow the company, right? There's certain times where you might peak out at, let's say, $500 a month, but it is completely flexible. And as I mentioned before, you can start, stop any time, and increase, decrease the budgets that you want. And then you're getting in front of your customers where you want them to be, which also is quite relevant to many businesses. So if you are a hyper-local business, we only want to service customers in a narrow radius, you can do that. But if you are, for example, like a countrywide service provider or a countrywide store, you can sell to your customers everywhere in the country, like everywhere in the US or whatever country you're in. So you select where the ads are shown, and therefore keep your customers and your inquiries relevant. Okay, so now we're going to go into a live demo, and I'm going to show you all the onboarding process. That should be pretty easy. I'm just going to get out of here. Okay, so now we are inside the Duda editor. We are residing in the App Store. Obviously, you have to install us. But once we're installed, this is the first step in creating a Google Ads campaign. This is the value prop page that actually describes, what Google Ads do for you, and basically what to expect. Very straightforward. We just click on Get Started. So the next step, we know directly because of the integration, the website and the company name and the phone number and so forth, that you can change that if you wanted to. So like, let's say you had a, different, you wanted to change your name or use a different phone number. The phone number actually gets used to be put into the campaigns as a call extension. So they would generate both clicks and calls if somebody wants to call you directly on mobile. This is a really useful function because the results from a mobile query with mobile call to conversion rates are huge. It's probably the highest correlation to sales. So allowing customers to find your mobile while they're around and call you, and then go to your location, or start the lead process, is incredibly effective. So they can change the number or continue with the number, and then we just ask them a really simple question: Do you want to use the campaign to generate appointments and leads? This is more like for service providers. So many of you all and many of the agency customers fall in this category, like lawyers, accountants, hair salons, restaurants, fitness professionals, therapists, anybody that just wants to generate an appointment or a lead, or then sell products online. And in this case, it would be people that run online stores and want to sell products. So let's say I'm a music instructor, let's say, for sake of argumentation, and you just click on continue, and then we select the radius. As I mentioned before, we have a couple different options here. we can do a radius targeting, which is close to wherever you are. So for example, we can put in your zip code. I'll put our zip code here in Tampa. You know, and then you can see the radius of where you will be advertising. You can increase or decrease the radius. Like let's say if you wanted to have a larger portion of Florida. And by the way, if you're like in the metric system, you can change that to kilometers as well. And then if you wanted to do more of a you know, region, like let's say you wanted to target the whole of Florida, you could do that. Or if you wanted to do a country, you can target the whole country. So again, it depends on where your customers are. Most of the time, what we see is for service providers, they're much more in the hyper-local mode. So if you're like a lawyer, you want the specific customers in your area. You're a contractor, same thing here. If you're in e-commerce, you're actually selling some products. Normally, it makes more sense to do the whole country. There are also some more advanced features for some of you that might be running campaigns in Europe and other countries where you actually want to use different languages for the campaigns. The platform supports that as well. And then you have nuanced, target location. This is very Google specific because sometimes they can show ads to people. For example, let's say you say only Tampa, Florida, right? Google can show ads only to people in Tampa, Florida, which is our default, or people searching about Tampa, Florida, which is probably actually the best option for somebody selling vacation homes or vacation rentals, let's say outside of their area. So you have a house in Hawaii and you want to sell to New York, right? So you target people in New York, but people searching about the target location. So people searching about Hawaii or all the above, which will give you both. So again, these are advanced features. Don't really need to worry too much about that. The defaults are actually set up purposely to work really well. So, very straightforward. Click and continue. And this is where all the platform, magic from the Kliken platform comes in. So we've built a taxonomy ourselves that maps all the Google My Business categories to really relevant keywords and ad building. So as I mentioned before, let's say you're a music instructor, you can start typing music, and you see the different options. You have music publisher, music producer, music instructor. You say, okay, this is perfect for me. Let's say that you are more specialized and you start doing piano. You have piano bar, piano instructor, piano maker, piano moving services, and so forth. So, and this is pretty much for anything you can think of. If you start like lawyer, you get different types of lawyers: divorce lawyer, lawyer association, district attorney. I mean, all these other like almost any business you can think of has been mapped, because we mapped all the Google My Business categories. So let's go back to, let's say, a music instructor. For the sake of argumentation. So then we go into the ad building process. This is really straightforward. We pre-default a large set of suggestions that they can use. They can change them also if they want to. So they could come in here and change any of these specific suggestions. Then also unique to our platform is we provide them a kind of like a voice for their business. So how do you feel about your business? And they can select from different options, right? So from convenient, fast, helpful, honest, inexpensive, reliable, like highly experienced. And based on how they feel about the business, that's how we actually generate ads in that voice. So for example, let's say that they feel like they're highly experienced on piano. And here comes like a set of ads with both information about the business and also calls to action. So reliable music instructor, don't wait any longer, local trusted music instructor, get a free estimate, and so forth. We actually do provide up to 6 ads to get started with. So let's say that they like this one, they can add 4 to the campaign, and then more importantly, they can also always edit them, so they can make whatever changes they want to this. As we all know, it's much easier to edit than to create. So it's much easier for somebody to see this and say, oh, okay, great. I understand. I'm going to change this word or this keyword. We provide a mobile app preview of how the ad will look like on the right side, so they can always see that, and desktop as well. So this is a clear, like fairly clear way for them to actually figure out how their ads will look like, and then generate really high quality ads. Now, for all the pay-per-click geeks and in the audience, people actually know this and probably are thinking how this works behind the scenes. So what we do is actually we build both a set of regular ads, but they're also responsive search ads. So they are ads that actually use the best of machine learning that Google has to generate high converting ads on the fly based on the inputs that we give them. And this is where this platform is truly unique. So we see actually a multiple of 2 to 3x higher conversion click-through rates on the ads based on this technology, and the fact that because of our onboarding process, we can provide the machine learning platform a much better base to start generating ads and actually generating AI-driven ads. So even though it looks really easy to use, actually behind the scenes, this is incredibly powerful and super easy to use. Okay. So the next step is we go into keywords. This is also, again, coming from our platform. And then what we have done, as I mentioned before, is we put in the keywords of, based on our taxonomy, right? So again, this is a music instructor. The main keyword, main theme is music instructor. Now, the first keyword is Pokebox, which was, some of you remember, probably you don't, was the name of the business. Obviously, this doesn't quite apply to this because this is a demo account, but probably would be, let's say, Ricardo's Music Lessons or whatever the name of my business was. And then the keywords coming out are really very, very relevant, right? So music lessons near me, music classes, music school near me, music school, school of music, music lessons, piano instructor, music classes for kids, stuff that you might never have thought about. For example, music classes for kids or music lessons for kids. And that's something that, again, is super easy to use. Let's say that, they wanted to change this and say for adults or for a specific group, for teens, or, again, you're providing them a super, providing the end user a super relevant set of keywords that actually are very easy to edit and add to it. All this is machine learning based as well. So as customers change the keywords or unselect keywords, our taxonomy learns from that, and then they're actually modified or used for other users. So this actually is an ever-changing, ever-learning taxonomy. There are a couple major things also to discuss in the screen. They can add their own keywords as well. So if you're like, as I mentioned, like more of an advanced pay-per-click user, you already are doing this, you can, and you have a list of keywords you want to start seeding the campaigns with, you can put them here. That's no issue at all. And then also we provide a context on the screen of putting everything together. So basically these keywords are going to show this ad in this area. And this makes it very concrete to end users, understanding finally kind of what they're buying. There's a lot of mystique on how Google works and how ads work and kind of how it all fits together. And this is a very visual way to see that, right? So these keywords show these ads in this area and send you customers that way. So we provide the customers 3 different themes. This also helps with the performance of the campaigns, because as you guys will see in a second, the different themes are actually a bit different. So music instructor was the first one. Now we're going to see the second one. This is lessons, right? So this is lessons based. And you can see how different this is. And it's actually one of the great things about our platform. Right? So you see guitar lessons, vocal lessons, piano, singing, guitar lessons for kids, private piano lessons. So these are keywords that actually are very relevant. That's how they come into the taxonomy. We crawled basically every Google My Business category in all major languages that we support, and we support 24 different languages, and built a taxonomy for each one of them. And these were from all the top kind of like rated websites for the Google My Business category, and we crawled them, text mined them, and came up with this type of taxonomy. So as you can see, it is super relevant. So for a small business owner that does this makes a ton of sense. And they could say, no, I don't do singing. No, I'm not good at that. But I also do cello, so I'll just change singing to cello. And that's kind of what makes the beautiful interaction between our AI and the human users, where you provide them a very clear context of what they should be aiming for, very concrete. And they know their business very, very well. So it's very easy for them to just make small modifications like this that make the campaigns perform super effectively for them. So finally, the last theme that we show them, we show them 3 again, and these are actually end up being in 3 different act groups. This is piano based. And again, this is kind of the beautiful thing about our taxonomy and our AI platform, right? So we know that a music instructor, we recommend for them to go into piano, because most of the really great websites that do this emphasize piano lessons as well, right? So they can see that and say, okay, great, yeah, so piano lessons, learn piano school, piano classes, all piano based, right? And they go, oh, this is great, totally get it. This is going to send me exactly what I'm looking for. And then keywords like, many times you might not think of, like piano lessons for toddlers, but the reason they're here is because actually they are high quality keywords, both from the website and rated by Google. So that's something that, as the end business owner would be like, oh, I never thought about that, but it's true. Like I love teaching toddlers, and it's a great part of the business for me. And again, really easy to also change this. Like if they were going to see that and say, hey, maybe I should be focusing more on adults, or I should be focusing more on teenagers or something, and change that. So super easy. It generates 3 very relevant themes that make the campaigns perform very well from the get-go. And then finally, you're done. As I mentioned before, our customer base, between 65 to 70% get to this point. So, very easy to understand the process. We show them in kind of real time what happens, right? So you start typing music school near me, and shows the ad and so forth. So it puts 2 and 2 together, how it will work for them. And then if they wanted to go back, they could always go back and edit the keywords, edit the ads, the target area, and so forth. So once they're done, very easy, take them out to checkout. And here you basically select your package, how much you want to spend per month. And as I said before, it's just highly dynamic. They can start at 150, and then go all the way from 300 and 500. And then once the campaign starts and they get started, you can go all the way from 500 to 10,000. So it depends on how the users want to do this. We'll discuss pricing in a second. We actually have a Duda and Kliken automation fee involved that gets transacted directly with Duda, but we'll show you guys that in a second on the pricing slide that we have on the presentation. So pretty straightforward process, takes you all the way through purchase. You put your credit card in, and basically we at that point generate all the Google campaigns, generate the accounts, set everything for you, for your campaign. The campaigns go up and running fairly fast, within hours, not days, and they start producing results pretty much right away. So once you do this, sorry, go ahead.
Ricardo, while you're here, I was just going to ask a few questions for pricing here. Is that okay?
Sure.
Great. One thing I think I would point out is Kliken is doing like a different charge here for the actual campaigns, right? And when this is set up, you can actually have your client's credit card actually charged here if you want, or you can use your own credit card as an agency to do that invoicing and charge that directly if you're invoicing them in another way. Is that correct?
That is correct. So yeah, you can. We'll see that in the last kind of slide deck of the webinar. But there's 2 models that you can go for. One is you charge your credit card and then charge your customer, or you actually just onboard the customer and then put the customer credit card here and then continue. So yeah, it works both ways.
Got it. And one question I'll ask, because Drickus is asking this right now, is can we set this up in the currency of our choice, or is there a way to change the currency? I know Drickus is based in South Africa, and so if you'd want, that local currency, yeah.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes. We can transact locally in USD, euros, pounds, most of the Scandinavian currencies. So we have about maybe 10 currencies or something like that we support. We don't support all of them. So if you're in South Africa, probably you will have to transact either in dollars or euros or something like that. But in most of Western Europe, we can transact natively.
Got it.
Okay, that makes sense. Any more questions, Russ?
Let's get one more coming in from Raj here. What are the prices for the Google Ads spend or ads plus management? Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I will answer that question once I go back to the webinar, because we do have 2 slides about that.
Great. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to show you really fast now what you would see when you actually are running a campaign, right? Because that's questions everybody asks, kind of. So once you're running a campaign, you would actually be able to tell, what are your views look like, your ad views, your clicks, how many conversions you had, what your cost per click looks like, what your cost was, how much revenue you made. So very clear computation of, how much money you spent, how much money you made. And then also, if you're performing well, we actually provide at the top a very, clear way to upgrade your campaign. So like if you're doing really well, we basically say, hey, you're doing fantastic. Do you want to spend more for your business? You can click there, and then you can select a different budget and increase it. And then again, that is flexible. You can increase it, decrease it over time, depending on how you want to run your business. Then we provide all information about all the campaigns, the different devices, the geolocations, pretty much everything else that you could think of. Okay.
That's great.
Okay, so let's go back to the webinar, and then we can address some of those questions about pricing. So, okay, you are right here. So I wanted to, it's much easier to see it than to talk it through. So we have basically 3 packages, and they're very easy to understand. So we have a basic package in which you can run up to $500 a month of marketing, and you pay Duda Kliken $15. Again, this automation fee gets transacted directly with Duda. So in the process, when you're to buy a campaign, if you already own it, like we did in this demo, you won't see that come. But actually, let's say that you don't own the automation fee. When you get to purchase a campaign, you will have to go purchase the automation fee directly from Duda, come back, and then check out the campaign. So there's 3 main packages, only 3 packages, really easy to understand. So for $15 a month, you can run up to $500 a month. If you run more than 500 but less than 2,000, for $30 a month, you can run up to $2,000 worth of marketing. And then finally, if you are running $2,000 or more, and we stop at 10,000, at that point, we have to do more of like a, VIP type of relationship where, it can be done. We've run campaigns up to hundreds of thousands a month, but at that point in the game, obviously the credit card fees don't make a lot of sense and things like that. So that's more like we have to work that relationship one-on-one. But let's say that you're running $5,000 a month, then it's $50 a month, and that's it. You can start, stop, cancel the campaigns at any time, and depending on what bucket you're in, that's your monthly fee. Hope that answered the question for Raj. Have any questions, Raj?
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think the one thing I would clarify is just like the platform fee, which is what you see here, is charged by Duda and Kliken, and this is charged to the agency account for setting up to be able to set up the campaign, and then there's that additional charge which is just for the raw dollar that's happening for the ad spend, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and the ad spend outside of the credit card processing fees goes straight to Google. So there's no upcharge or there's no margin or anything there. It's whatever you buy. That's what you deploy on Google.
Right.
Okay. And then based on these plans, then what's the recommended business model for agencies? And as we discussed a little bit before, there's two main models. One is the managed services model. So like if you're doing everything for the customer, if you are building a campaign, launching the campaign, paying for the campaign, managing the campaign, then basically what you would do is put your credit card on checkout and we would charge you directly, but then you charge your customer like your fee on top of the spend. So this is what we would recommend you do, for example. So like if you're running the basic package, which is $15 a month, you would charge $50 to the customer plus whatever spend package they have, right? So if they're spending $150, you would charge $150 plus $50, $200. And then the customers will pay you and then you pay us. And then the same thing for the essential package will be $75, and then the premium package will be $100 plus the spend. So just to be clear there, that managing the campaigns doesn't mean that you have to go in daily and do bidding and change things. I mean, it all is fully automated. So when we mean manage, it's more make sure that you tell your customer like once a month, hey, this is how it's going, these are the results, this is the dashboard, do you think we should increase your budget? It really is more account management, like customer management, than campaign management. And then the other model that we've also seen is a little bit more of a do it with me model, or do it for me. You actually onboard the customer. So build the campaigns, set up the campaigns, like, basically pick the keywords, do the ads and so forth. You charge a setup fee between $99 or $200. And then you put the credit card of a customer directly on the platform. And then what we will do there is then we charge directly the customer, and you don't have to worry about the ongoing maintenance because you provide the customer access to the platform. So you actually invite the customer to the account. They see all the reports. They see they have a mobile app. They can manage the campaigns themselves. If they have questions, they can call our tech support, and we help them. Both business models work really great. It depends more of the flavor of, I think, company you want to run. If it's more like again managed services, high touch, that'll be the first model. If it's more like hey, I just finished your website, I onboard you now into Google Ads, I set you up, here we go, and then from this point forward, Kliken takes care of you. That would be more the do it for me setup, and we've seen both work really well. So happy to answer any questions about that.
Great. I don't see any questions coming in specifically on this right now. So
okay. So I think that's it. We're in questions and answers. Happy to answer any questions.
Great. Yeah, let's jump in. There's tons of questions here coming in already. So let me go and grab some for us here. One question that came in early on from Samantha, she's asking, are there any case studies that we can use with our clients to show results and show value to use this product?
Yeah, we have tons of case studies. So we have case studies both on service providers, on shopping. Absolutely, we can help you with that. And by the way, we really would love to work a kind of messaging package or support documents for agencies. Yep. So after the call, I think my email is probably posted somewhere, or if not, I'm sure Russ can ship it around. But do not hesitate to email me, and I'll help you with both the documentation and also put together a package that would make sense for you guys to sell this easily. So please send me any feedback, any suggestions my way. I'll be happy to help you.
Great. Cool. A question from Richard. He's asking, I have a client with 4 locations with 1 location in another state. All locations are targeting different services in the same industry. Can I have multiple locations and target specific keywords per location in different areas?
Absolutely. Basically, what you would do is do one campaign for each one of them. Do exactly what I just did.
Yep.
For each location, and then purchase them independently. And also that would allow you to have different budgets, right? So you could run, let's say, a bigger city, bigger budget, things like that. The platform is actually designed specifically to do that. And by the way, you would not be charged an automation fee per account, per campaign. You can run as many as you want up until the overall spend is that bucket.
That's great. So you just log into Kliken and just go create a whole new campaign. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Do the exact same thing as I did. Like you start by create new campaign, build it,
yep.
Build it for that area. Actually, the great way to look at it is a little bit like Richard said. If it's a different geolocation, it's a different campaign.
Yep. Great. So some questions came in on kind of keyword matching and types. So 2 questions here that are similar. One from Raj is asking, what match types are the keywords? And Joel is asking a similar question, are the keywords set as a broad match or a phrase match?
Yep, great question. And I see that we have some pay-per-clickers in the crowd. We actually abstract that completely to the end user. They see one keyword, right? But when we put them in the campaigns, we actually put them both on broad modified, exact, and phrase. And we also put negative keywords in. So we bid them all independently, and that's how the campaigns outperform. Like, basically normal like setups without this. And they're also great at harvesting new keywords coming in because of the broad modified keywords. But we actually put them in the 3 different phrase, exact, and broad modified. And then we also do negative keywords as well. So then when they buy the campaign and they go into the management section, you can actually see all your negatives and see all the keywords there and use that. But yeah, we put them in every keyword goes into 3 different different match types. And then also for campaign structure, because I'm thinking you guys probably are thinking about this as well. Like every theme that we saw, it's its own ad group. So they have basically all those keywords in the 3 different match types in an ad group, plus all those ads are part of that ad group alone. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, great, thank you. Cool, and the next question that came in is from Renee. If you're an online retailer, can you add your web page or email instead of the phone number?
Yes. Yeah, so actually, well, the domain would be your website, so that'll be that. You would skip the phone number unless you want to generate calls, which you probably could as well. I mean, just in case somebody wants to see your products and then just give you a call to ask about inventory, things of that nature. But then, yeah, the campaign will be exactly the same. Just pick we'll pick the retailer tab that you have, and then you can drive traffic to the store and actually just sell in the store.
Got it. Great. The next question from Johnny is, whose Google Ad Manager account does the client reside in? Who owns the client ads account?
Good question. It resides in a brand new account under Kliken that the customer doesn't have direct access to. So we do that purposely for multiple reasons, specifically being like the AI algorithms to change the bidding and like things like that. Basically, it's almost like if you're flying a plane or autopilot and the pilot is trying to always fight the autopilot, right? So the account is owned under Kliken, but we can give access to each account. So if you as a manager of the account want to get access to the specific account, we can do that. But mostly again on reporting, since if you start changing the keywords and changing things and changing the bidding, you're actually fighting the engine.
Got it. Great. Cool. Keep going. There's a bunch of questions that have come in, guys. So you guys have asked a lot of questions. We're going to try and get to most of these if we can. But we're running through the questions we have. Cool. Samantha is asking, how do you prevent a customer from seeing the package price if they have an e-commerce? I recently set a customer up and couldn't hide it. I think actually I can probably answer this one, Ricardo. So I think, Samantha, what you're talking about is inside of the e-commerce product. There's also an integration for Kliken that is there where we don't have an option to hide or display different pricing there. With this integration in Duda's App Store, it's kind of a little more native in the Duda system, and we won't display any of those kind of platform fees that Ricardo showed a few minutes ago of the $15, $25, and $50 fees to your customers. We'll never show that price point. Now, the price, if your client logs in and wants to go and obviously pay for a campaign and put their credit card in, they will see the price point for that specific campaign of, hey, they're spending $150 or they're spending $300 or whatever. But that's obviously just what they're paying for the actual ads, and most of that's going directly over to Google for actually running the campaigns directly. Anything that you would add there, Ricardo? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think that makes all sense. I think like exactly like you mentioned, like to the end customer, whatever you're running on Google, it would be definitely our recommendation that you are completely transparent about that. So if they're running $300, they're running $300. You can show them that clearly. Show them where the money is going. That gives a high level of confidence in transparency in the platform. I would not just do a black box like you're paying $500 and you don't know how much you're getting in spend, how much you're getting in fees. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. Great. Question from Raul, who's asking, what if your business does not have any relevant Google My Business category? For example, I have a client that sells virtual tours for businesses and houses. I believe the closest category is marketing agency.
Sure. So you guys probably didn't get that when you saw that they go like the onboarding process. But when you search for the Google My Business category, there is an option that shows up after you start searching that says skip the Google My Business category. So you can actually skip it altogether, and then you write basically your own keywords. So yeah, so you have the ability to do that. So like if you actually know that something special is like that, virtual tours, something like that. But with that said, I would highly encourage to take a look. For example, I could be a real estate agent that they're doing virtual tours or something like that. I would highly encourage to do a real estate agent search and then modify those to virtual tours, because they're already really relevant in kind of what they do. Just modify them to the other one versus kind of starting from scratch. That would be my recommendation.
Got it. It's good advice. Yeah. Tom is asking, can you run ads during a certain time of day, like only 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that?
Yeah, it's already built that way. That's a great question. So day parting is already in place. We all know that the best searches are during business hours. So the ads run in the morning, like I think it's 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., something like that, and then they stop. That really helps us get the maximum return as well, because those are the best searches. But yeah, no, it's already built in like that.
That's great. That's great. Liz is asking, I have used similar AI to facilitate services before and loved it. What is your support policy, like days, hours, and weeks, and how do you connect with you and the team?
So we provide, I think, daily support. I mean, so I think it's 24/7 email support and tickets, and then live phone, live chat is extended hours now. So I think 8 a.m. Eastern all the way to I think midnight Eastern, something like that. I can send you guys the exact hours. They're on kliken.com if you wanna check it. But we have a big support group, and we do both phone, chat, and email support.
Great. Cool. The next question here is the pricing only for Duda sites? Meaning I use Thinkific for my course offerings, which is a different CMS platform, but use Duda as my primary site. Would I need a second account for Thinkific?
It's a good question. It depends on. So the answer is you can run any campaign directly from your Duda account to any domain. So So the answer is you don't. Like, you don't need to have a different account. With that said, we would highly encourage to land the traffic on the Duda website, because we have mapped conversions and we have done a deep integration there. So that's going to make the campaigns automation and the AI work great. So we also have the ability to place our pixel by hand on any other website. So that's something that support can help you. So you could actually do kind of something kind of similar to what we're doing with Duda on the website by just putting the conversion pixels in place. But in Duda, that's fully integrated and ready to go. So trying to answer your question, yes, you can run campaigns to any other domain directly from the Duda account and land them there. That's no problem. And then in the Duda website itself, you have all the conversion pixels and all the proper things to make the campaigns really shine. So we would highly recommend to drive the traffic to the Duda site.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's an important point, that you guys automatically, just with the integration with Duda, you're automatically injecting that tracking code into the site and leveraging and listening for conversion events within Duda already. So somebody goes and follows through with a form submit or a click to call, that's going to be reported back into the Kliken dashboard, and they can report on the total ROI that kind of comes from that. So sure. It's an important point. I don't know if we covered that in the initial webinar.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually really important as well for optimization, because those signals are driving the AI to make sure that we optimize the best way for those conversions. So it really will make the campaign shine.
Great. I'm going to jump on to the next question here from Renee. Is asking, how do you calculate my revenue? Since it's not known until the customer pays at delivery, because my product prices are not known until I weigh and price my items. So how can you do like an ROI type calculation? Or yeah.
That's a great question. You're one of the kind of more difficult cases. So if it's a store, we know exactly, because you know what they're selling. If it's specific like leads, let's say the computation of cost per lead is really easy to do. We do have the ability to add values, like general values, to kind of like what your average order would look like. So in your case, it will be more custom. What you would have to figure out is kind of like an average value for your orders and use that. So it won't be perfect. It won't be like exactly what you sold every single time, because every time you sell is a little bit of an offline sale, right? You're actually like, you're not buying in the checkout process exactly an amount. You're just doing that offline. But you can use a average value, and that will give you a good proxy of how the marketing is performing.
Got it. Yes, similar question from Rakesh came in asking, how is revenue tracked if the client doesn't have an e-commerce site? And so what you're saying is you basically asked for like the average value that a new lead brings in or a new account brings in, right?
Correct. Yeah. And that's something that if you guys want to kind of work with our support, we can help you set all that up.
Great. Richard is asking, for the app, is there a white label option, or can our agency logo be displayed on the reports?
So that is something that we've been discussing quite a bit. Right now, the agency or the reports, we don't have an ability to use a logo in the reports, but that's something that we're actually thinking about building quite fast. So Richard, like as I mentioned before, if you don't mind, just send me an email after the webinar. Happy to connect. I would love to get kind of an idea of what you would like to see, and then we can build that pretty fast.
Great. Drickus is asking, when setting up a campaign, will the client be able to track the effectiveness on Google Analytics? In other words, will they be able to follow the campaign on their own analytics dashboard to see, goals, completions, etc.?
That's a good question. So yes and no. Like they would see if they have set up the conversion tracking on Google Analytics, then they would see the campaigns and they would see how well they convert. So that is for sure. If they have not set it up, we don't set up Google Analytics for them. So we send up the conversion pixels for Google Ads and for ourselves, and we have our own analytics. Actually, the engine that you see is either coming from Google or from us, but not from Google Ads or from us, but not from Google Analytics. So trying to answer your question, if you already set it up and you have Google Analytics set up, you would definitely see the campaigns in there. And the conversion tracking, if you have not set it up, then you will see it in our UI.
Got it. Yeah, so Duda already has an integration with Google Analytics. So you plop your Google Analytics ID into Duda, and then what you're saying is you'd have to go and set up the conversion tracking inside of Google Analytics to say, hey, this event is an actual conversion, to get that type of reporting. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we don't have that mapped, right? So you would have to tell Google Analytics, hey, this is a phone call, or this is a contact form, or whatever.
Yeah, Duda sends those events already, but you still have to go and set it up as a conversion. Yeah. Great. Cool. The next question from Raj is, can we send our clients reports automatically? And what reports is the client able to access? And for performance reports, is it a dashboard, or can you set up like an automated email?
Yeah, so that is, I would answer kind of the same question the same way that I did to the adding the logo. Right now, like if a customer goes in, they see everything, right? They would see the dashboard. They can drill down into all the campaigns. We don't have an automated way to send an email report with that, but we can build that. So I would encourage you as well to ping me after the webinar, and we'll start kind of putting together what that will look like, and we'll build it for you guys. This is something that is really easy for us to do, but I would love to hear just how you would like that to work, so we can make it work exactly for you guys how you guys want it to work.
Great. Cool. Alan is asking, is there a record of changes that can be reported to my client?
You mean like different bids and different keywords? Not in the platform as is right now. You could probably get that from Google Ads, but that would be a huge report, because every day we bid daily. So imagine like having hundreds of keywords. I mean, it'd be like in just 3 days, it would be thousands of lines. Got it.
Great. Frank is asking, can you show us what reporting looks like? And I don't know, I think you showed this for a few minutes in the presentation there, Ricardo, but maybe you want to show it again on your screen quickly?
Sure. Yeah, let me just go here. Okay. Yep. So this is kind of the main dashboard. That's where you can see kind of the top level, how the campaign is performing. Then you can see where it says campaigns. If you're running more than one campaign, they will all show up there, and that tells you your cost, your cost per click, your conversions, your revenue. At the bottom of the screen, you can see different devices, so it tells you how it's working on mobile, and desktop, and tablet. But then as you drill down, like for example, you can see all the ad groups, and you can see, in this case, they're products, so they're like product centric, and you can see what products are seeing the most views, conversions, and so forth. Then you can even drill down to specific products and see what products are working. And by the way, extrapolate this to services, right? It'll be exactly the same. So they would see whatever keywords in whatever ad group is driving the maximum amount of conversions and revenue and so forth. Yep. And so this is just to give you a general idea, but then you can drill down from all the top level of the campaign to ad groups to see all the ad performance, to see all the keywords performance, all the geolocations, the demographics, and also the all the ads and everything else. So any major piece of reporting that you have to work with as an end user or as an agency owner, it's all there.
Got it. Great. Next question here is, how much better or faster is using a service like this to create the Google campaigns as compared to running this directly on like Google Ads?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So if you don't know how to use Google Ads, obviously it doesn't even compare, because like onboarding to Google Ads is incredibly difficult. If you are already a pay-per-clicker and you know how to use Google Ads, this will save you a ton of time on a couple like major things. One, it structures the campaigns perfectly. So from the get-go, everything is structured and managed perfectly. And then the taxonomy is ours, it's not Google's. So when you start doing keyword research on Google, you're not really getting the same quality of keywords that we have, because we actually did do a crawling again of all the major categories of Google My Business for all locations, and then extrapolated a set of themes and best quality keywords for those. So it's going to save you a ton of time on onboarding and a ton of time on the quality of the website itself. So the quality of the campaign itself. But probably easiest way to answer your question is this. Almost 70% of our customers end up the onboarding process in less than 7 minutes. So yeah, if you think about like how long it would take you to actually start from scratch to build these ads, and my guess is like a couple hours at least.
Got it. Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah, that's great. Great. Next question from Alan is, do you edit the ads weekly or monthly, or how do you, or do you change up the ad text, add negative keywords, things like that?
So the platform is built already. We have functionality that helps with thumbs up, thumbs down, add negatives, and also add long tail keywords to the campaign for improving long tail searches. It takes minutes, like a week, if even, and you can pass this to your customers as well, by the way. So you can say, hey, look, this is the mobile app, and it's white label. It's called My Site Analytics, so they won't know it's us at all, and they can go into the iOS store or the Apple store or the Google store and just get it. But the management itself, it's very, very little per week. It's fully automated. Like all our bidding is fully automated. All the campaign performance is fully automated. So I think it's more like reporting and then having the customers or yourself once in a while thumb up and thumb down some keywords, which is kind of fun to do. To be honest with you, it takes like just a couple minutes.
Yep.
But no, it doesn't require a lot of work.
Got it. Cool, Ricardo. We're a little over the hour mark here. I think there are some more questions coming in, but I think what we can do is we can grab these questions, maybe put them into like an FAQ and throw them into a support article, and we can send that out with the recording for anyone who didn't get their questions answered. Would you be okay doing that?
Sure.
Great. Ricardo, thank you so much for coming in and showing us Kliken and giving us kind of an overview of the tool. Really excited to have you guys kind of in our app store and part of the Duda family and ecosystem. Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's been my pleasure.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Or evening. Bye.